Well, Ukrainian forces have captured 2 Chinese nationals who were fighting for the Russian army in eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region. Zelensky himself came out and said this. He said intelligence suggests the number of Chinese soldiers in Russia's army is much higher than 2. Ukraine's foreign minister. Yeah, well, I guess 5 is much higher than 2.
But it's the minimum 2.
Yeah, but I think he does mean more than that even, right? Yeah. As we'll see here. So Ukraine's foreign minister said that Chinese envoy to Kyiv has been summoned for an explanation as well. It marks the first allegation that China is supplying Russia with manpower for the war in Ukraine. And there's been no immediate response to these claims from Moscow or Beijing. In a statement on X, Zelensky said that soldiers were captured in Donetsk region with identification documents, including bank cards, which had personal data on them. Wow, really? Okay. Ukraine's forces fought 6 Chinese soldiers and took 2 prisoners. The post was accompanied by a video showing one of the Chinese captives in handcuffs, speaking Mandarin Chinese and apparently describing a recent battle. It's crazy. So Zelensky goes on, we have information suggesting that there are many more Chinese citizens in the occupiers' units than just the 2. So Russia's involvement with China, along with other countries, whether directly or indirectly in this war in Europe, is a clear sign that Putler, I can do it. Yeah, Putler intends to do anything but end this war. These were quotes from Zelensky still, right? Ukrainian president called for a response from the United States, Europe, and all those around the world who want peace, saying there is a current investigation undergoing by Ukraine's security service, looking into this more. Just a little bit more on this here. There is, where is it? They updated the thing, so it screwed up my my notes. They have identified on TikTok's sister app Douyin, which is only available in China, at least 40 people that have signed up with the Russian army from China. Oh. And that's just people that have admitted it on social media, not how many are actually there. They have absolute confirmation of at least 40 of them. So there must be some kind of deal going on between Russia and Beijing where it's like, hey, we'll make it easy for them. If they don't have jobs, they can come over here and fight. There's got to be something going on there for sure.
Yeah. So they're not sending Chinese army. They're just volunteering their civilians to join up.
Yeah, exactly. Just more hamburger for the fund, right? But
So mercenaries, basically.
Yeah. And I wouldn't doubt once the lid gets lifted on a story like this, you always end up with more and more and more cases coming in, almost always. So I wouldn't doubt we hear more of this coming up. And again, so you got Norks, the North Koreans, and now you're going to have some people direct from China fighting as well. When does Europe and the rest of the world say enough and we start putting boots in Ukraine? Enough.
The thing about fighting Chinese is once you fought a Chinese person, 30 minutes later, you want to fight another one.
Oh, that's funny. Sometimes the stereotypes are true. You can get real full on North American style Chinese food, and an hour later, you're starving. It always happens. The magic of MSG.
Yes, love it. Delicious.
So where are you going with this one here?
Well, we're taking you to the little town of Shipley in England, and a century-old Anglican church is swapping hymns for headlocks. The St. Peter's Church has become the unlikely home of Wrestling Church, a mashup of pro wrestling and Christian evangelism. Cheers erupt, penny stained glass windows, and foam fingers replace choir books. Yeah, the event is created by a 37-year-old Gareth Thompson. It draws nearly 200 people into the pews for an evening of choreographed chaos and spiritual messages. Thump. Oh,
look at his shirt. Pray, eat, wrestle, repeat.
Yeah, I don't think he does much praying, does he? For Thompson, Wrestling Church is personal. He credits both Jesus and professional wrestling with turning his life around and sees the squared circle as a perfect metaphor for scripture. Okay, buddy.
Maybe the one scene where Jesus goes crazy in the church there because they're trying to be too greedy. But
yeah, when he turns the tables over on all the moneylenders. Yeah,
it probably looked just like this.
Smackdown. Yeah. So he says, boil it down to basics. There's good versus evil, he said. So I started seeing the wrestling world through a Christian lens. David and Goliath, Cain and Abel, Esau and Jacob, all those stories. The night kicks off with the Good Samaritan too, smack. The night kicks off with a briefly homily and prayer before the mayhem begins, and the tattooed wrestlers tumble down the aisle, bodies slam one another in front of the altar, and fly off the ropes as the crowd, a mix of families, teens, seniors, and diehard wrestling fans, roar in approval. The little choir boys are singing alongside. Yeah, Reverend Natasha Thomas, priest in charge of St. Peter's, admits that she wasn't entirely sure what she was signing up for. But in an era of declining church attendance, she believes innovation is necessary. It's not church as you would know it, she said, but it's bringing in a different community that we would normally. Of course it is. Bringing a different community you normally get. It's getting bruisers coming in when I fight.
How many people watching are there for the church part, and how many are there for the wrestling part?
Yeah. They're just sneaking in when the churchy bit's done.
Yeah.
The UK's 2021 census revealed that less than half the population now identifies as Christian, while those with no religion jumped to 37%. And as churches adapt to stay relevant, Wrestling Church is drawing attention and new congregants. I wonder how many people was like going, are completely atheists and don't give a shit. They just want to see the fight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wonder, like, is it drawing in the people you need to keep the church going?
Yeah.
Are they the people that are going to financially contribute towards the church's well-being and stuff? Or are they just going to throw a deuce in the tray because they wanted to see somebody get body slammed, right?
I mean, where's he gonna end? I mean, if all you're trying to do is get money into the church's coffers, to keep the building going, because it costs money to keep these buildings,
Sure,
alive. What else are they gonna do? Like strip clubs, roller discos, turn into an ice rink. What next?
Table dancing.
I mean, at least put a bar in it.
But it's an interesting idea. I would like to see how it works out 5 years from now.
Yes, it seems a bit gimmicky to me.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But then again, 4 years from now, we'll know what happened at the end of the Trump administration, and I'm not looking forward to the results of that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's one of those things that's just leave well enough alone.
Maybe this is what Jesus has been waiting for before he comes back. Maybe he's going to come back as a wrestler.
Maybe he already has. It's Hulk Hogan. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, and leave a very, very Christian comment in the comment section below. Yeah, thank you very much. God bless you.